Welcome back. Today we're asking, in this unpredictable business world, what's the real impact of a company's why? We've got some data that it might just surprise you,
Hmm,
especially if you're a leader or a strategist trying to navigate, this VUCA environment.
exactly. Experience alone often isn't enough anymore, and stakeholders are definitely asking for more accountability.
Right.
So companies need more concrete insights. And today we're diving into a really interesting analysis, actually. It's based on a document, CAC Civi 1 152 May 1st No 250424. It looks at this potential link between how a company talks about its purpose online and, well, how its popularity shifts.
Okay, so our mission for this deep dive is pretty straightforward. Is there a real connection between what a company puts on its website about its purpose and changes in its popularity ranking? We want to see if clearly stating your why actually makes you, more appealing and give you some practical takeaways.
Yeah, that's the goal. So the study itself looked at 16 companies. It analyzed the actual text they use online on their websites to explain their purpose, and crucially, it compared this text not just to their overall popularity ranking using a 2025 Japanese employment survey, but also to how much that ranking had changed from the previous year.
Changed. So whether they went up or down.
Precisely, up or down.
Interesting. Okay, let's unpack that a bit. Did they find some kind of magic formula? Like, use these specific words and boom, you're the most popular company.
Huh? Well, not quite a magic formula, but they did find something pretty compelling. A strong correlation, actually. But here's the nuance. The correlation was specifically between an increase in popularity. So the company's moving up the ranks and the sheer amount of text they had online about their purpose.
Wait, so more words equals more popular, or at least rising popularity.
It seems that way. The more a company explained its reason for being online, the more likely it was to see its popularity ranking climb.
So if I just write a really, really long purpose statement on my website, my company's likely to get more popular.
That's the trend the data suggests. Yeah, for companies that are already on the upswing. But, and this is a really key point for all these strategists listening, there wasn't much correlation found between the companies ranked at the absolute top and the amount of text they had.
Ah, okay. So having a lot to say might help you climb, but it doesn't automatically put you on the number one podium.
Exactly. It doesn't
Got
guarantee that top spot overnight.
That makes sense. It's almost like a tailwind, maybe? Helping a ship that's already moving forward, but not necessarily getting it instantly to the destination.
That's a great analogy, actually.
Okay, so they didn't just look at the word count, right? They must have looked at the language itself. What else did they analyze?
They did, yeah. They dug deeper. For instance, sentence length.
Hmm.
Companies whose popularity was increasing, they tended to use shorter average sentences in their online purpose stuff.
Shorter sentences. Keep it punchy, clearer, maybe?
Seems like it. Suggests that clear, concise language just resonates better.
Okay, short and sweet. What about those pointer words like this, that, these, those demonstrative pronouns, I think they're called?
Yes, demonstratives. The analysis showed companies whose popularity had actually declined tended to use those types of words more often.
More this and that. Why would that matter?
Well, the thinking is it could indicate slightly less direct language, maybe a bit more vague. Instead of saying, we achieve X by doing Y, maybe it's more like, this is our commitment, without always clearly defining what this actually refers to.
Got it. So be specific, less pointing at fuzzy concepts, makes sense, and topic structure. Did they look at how the ideas were organized?
They did. And this was interesting, too. Companies that were getting more popular tended to focus on fewer main themes or topics in their online purpose statements.
Fewer topics,
Right.
so a more focused message.
Exactly. It suggests maybe a more singular, memorable core message.
Okay.
On the flip side, companies whose popularity was declining often touched on a wider range of topics,
Right.
which, could potentially water down their main point, make it harder for people to really grab onto what their core purpose is.
Right. Focus helps cut through all the noise out there. Did they look at what the companies were actually talking about? Like the substance of the purpose? Were there differences there between the risers and fallers?
Yes, absolutely. And this is pretty insightful if you're thinking about your own company's messaging. The companies on the rise, they often clearly spelled out how they contribute to society. They painted a clear picture of their long-term vision. You'd often see their purpose statements starting with that positive impact, their contribution.
Okay. Starting strong with the good.
Whereas companies with declining ranks, They tended to have starting points in their purpose statements that were maybe less clear or less impactful. The societal contribution wasn't always as front and center or as well defined. For example, the source material mentioned Daiwa Securities and Nippon Life Insurance. Both saw big jumps in their ranking. And their online purpose statements apparently really hammered home their societal roles and long-term goals.
Okay, clear examples there.
And conversely, companies like Shogakukan and Obayashi Corporation, which saw declines, their online purpose articulation was maybe less prominent or less detailed, according to the analysis.
Huh. Those examples really make the data click. So if we were to sum it up,
Uh,
what are the key traits of a company whose online purpose seems linked to rising popularity?
Okay, summing up. It seems to boil down to a few things. One, focusing on just a limited number of core messages.
Keep it tight.
Yeah. Two, explaining those messages really thoroughly, but with specific language. Three, using clear, direct communication, so fewer of those vague pronouns. And four, making sure that a clear link to societal contribution is right there, central and well-defined in the purpose.
Okay, crystal clear. So for all the business leaders, the strategists, the consultants listening in, what's the main thing they should take away from this deep dive?
I think the key insight, especially if you're thinking about attracting talent or just generally boosting your company's appeal, is that a clear, comprehensive articulation of your purpose online. Well, it seems strongly linked to an increase in popularity. It signals something important, to potential hires, to stakeholders. That your organization has a solid identity, a mission beyond just the bottom line.
Well, we need to remember that nuance we talked about earlier, right? It's not the only thing.
Absolutely crucial point, yes. While having that well-defined online purpose can be a significant boost for rising popularity, it's definitely just one piece of the puzzle. Many factors influence a company's overall ranking and, of course, its long-term success.
Right. Okay, so here's maybe a final thought for you, the listener, to mull over about your own organization. How could you potentially refine the way you communicate your purpose online to connect better with your audience, maybe boost your company's appeal and reputation? Thinking about that clarity, that focus, the depth, and especially that clear link to societal good. Take a fresh look at your current online purpose statement. Is it as clear, focused, and impactful as it possibly could be? Something to think about. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.